Merry Christmas and welcome to the build-up from RamsTV. This is the show that gives you everything you need to know before the big game kicks off. We're here at Pride Park Stadium for Derby County's first home Boxing Day fixture in 4 years. The Rams will reach the halfway mark of their championship campaign against West Bromwich Albion, who have had a very interesting 48 hours or so. Their manager, Carlos Corberán, left the club late on Christmas Eve to take over at Valencia in La Liga. Chris Brunt, Damien Abella and Boaz Myhill are in charge for today's trip to Pride Park. Well, this was a Christmas fixture only a couple of years ago. Colleen Kazim Richards accepting a gift from the Albion defence to score the only goal of the game on December 27th, 2021. Derby, of course, have been to League One and back again in the years since this, with West Brom stuck in the Championship. The Baggies came close to escaping back to the Premier League last season, losing in the playoff semi-finals. This now their longest stint in the second tier, since they spent nearly 20 years at this level from 1993 to 2002. They're certainly in contention for another crack at the playoffs this season. Their sights might be set even higher if they hadn't drawn 6 matches in a row across October and November, part of a run of 10 draws in 11 matches. West Brom beat Bristol City in their final game before Christmas, while Derby are licking their wounds after conceding late goals to lose at Luton on Friday. Victory would have seen the Rams into the top half of the Championship on Christmas Day. Still no Aaron Cash in for the Rams, but no other major injury news to report. Derby looking to win at home on Boxing Day today for the first time since 2015. Jacob Butterfield was on target against Fulham 9 years ago. Well, let's take a look at the Championship table, which has changed since we last saw you. Sheffield United have a 3-point lead at the top. Burnley and Sunderland both on Leeds United's heels. West Brom start the day only outside the top 6 on goals scored. There's a 16-point gap from 1st to 9th, then just 10 points separating everyone else. Derby is certainly closer to the top half than the bottom 3 at the moment. It's a 6-point gap to the relegation places for the Rams. Wayne Rooney's Plymouth currently bottom of the pile. Everyone in the Championship is in action today. We'll run you through the schedule a little bit later. Of course, it's a very busy time for everybody, Derby included. Today starts a run of 4 matches in just 10 days for the Rams. Head coach Paul Warne has been giving us some insight into how he handles the workload.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough in the fact that, I know we're playing football and coaching football, so in comparison to other people's jobs, it's not tough. But in our world, it's tough in the fact that, you have to, you have to prepare the team. Obviously, the physicality for the lads, they have to rest. There's still people. They're not like, at the end of the game, I don't put them in a cupboard and then pull them out 12 hours later. They go home, see their families who are in, and they have to, duck and dive away from temptation. But the difficulty is to have a level of performance over the 4 games. That's the honest truth, without making changes throughout. So even if someone plays really well, you have to take them out to play a fresher pair of legs to flip it. So I think over 4 games there'll be team selections that from the outside people will be like, well, I thought he played really well. Yeah, he did. But I thought Callum played really well. He did. But like Foz is playing, or Tomo played really well. Yeah, he did. But Kenzo's playing this one. I think that's the hardest balance to get right, is to keep the team fresh and not to change it, unless obviously they underperform. If they underperform, that's different. That's the hardest thing, I think, and to get through these 4 games injury-free, because weirdly, you go through this chaos, and January is quite tranquille, apart from, I don't know, you get told about the transfer window.
Have heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. It's nice having this interview. So, so that's the hardest thing. Get through these games to keep everybody at an energy level that the ones who aren't playing think they might play, and they will play. That's the hardest thing, I think. And then because of the quick turnaround, we then watch the game back, clip the game, do recovery strategies, upload the next game, what we're going to play, how we're going to play. And it's just, we're so time poor, that's the truth, in the most enjoyable time. So when I see my friends who are having 2 weeks holiday, so jealous.
Boxing Day, Football is a fantastic tradition, fantastic part of
Brilliant.
Christmas. Are you pleased you're going to be at home this year for it?
Yeah, buzzing. I don't think I'm not even sure I've managed a team at home on Boxing Day. I mean, you could come back at me.
I will check that.
Check and challenge, like it. So, yeah, I love Boxing Day games. I think there's a lot of things I like about Boxing Day, obviously. Most people turn up with a new scarf or hat or jacket. But there's a real energy within a crowd Boxing Day because they've been sitting with their in-laws and think, oh, I'll just get to the game tomorrow and I'll start singing Derby songs. So that's amazing. There's always a real energy for the players. They're like really excited. Most of their families come on Boxing Day. And like for me, like I've been in sport, I've been playing since I was men's football since I was 15. So I was like 37 years maybe. Boxing Day has always been a game. So for me, I was disciplined on Christmas Day, no problem. Boxing Day games I loved, and when I'm not involved in professional sport, I will go to one. I will either watch rugby union, ice hockey, football. I will watch anything just to get out of the house and watch sport and get fresh air is amazing. So Boxing Day games for me are brilliant, but I've never ever had a late kickoff. I don't think that is pretty unique. So that's going to mess up my whole cold turkey mustard sandwiches at night. I don't know how I'm going to get around that.
West Brom, the opponents, no surprise to see them competing to all the playoff places?
Yeah, I mean, they're very well coached, very good players. Obviously, they've over years have collected some very, some outstanding players. So they're always going to be a top 8 team, I think, and have been very difficult to beat. So look, they haven't probably won as many games as they would want. No one wants to draw that many games, but they haven't lost. So that build a real confidence within the team. So, you know, if a couple of them draws were wins, they'd be absolutely flying. So a team that like to keep the ball, who are really patient, who have real experience in the league as well, and they won't be phased coming to our place. So we have to make it really difficult, and we have to work our team out to, you know, try and attack their weaknesses. Every team has weaknesses, so that's fine. And we have to try and, you know, reduce what they're good at. So we have a plan, but as always, a plan is only as good as till you get punched in the face. So hopefully the lads can perform at a level that makes everyone enjoy their Christmas and enjoy being a Derby fan and enjoy life. So come out Christmas morning, afternoon, late afternoon, so you can have a good family time and then come to the game and let it rip. And that's how I hope the lads play, and I look forward to watching them.
Derby boss Paul Warne there. The Rams are a later kick-off today, not the latest. That's at 8 o'clock with Stoke hosting Leeds. Everyone else kicks off in just over 20 minutes' time. Big game at the top as Sheffield United host at Burnley. Big one at the bottom as Oxford host Cardiff. Gary Rowett in charge for the first time for the hosts there. The other side in the bottom 3 are Plymouth. They're at Coventry as Rooney takes on Lampard. Now, if Derby had won at Luton in their last game before Christmas, they would have been in the top half of the Championship table on Christmas Day. They didn't, of course, even though Kayden Jackson's goal gave them the lead in the second half at Kenilworth Road. We've been talking to the goal scorer and reflecting on those closing moments.
To be honest, not a lot's been said. I think when, you know, the game gets taken away from you like that, it's always tough. You know, it can happen at them places, and, you know, unfortunately it happened to us. But we just need to learn from that and learn quickly, and hopefully, you know, put that right come Boxing Day.
One of the big positives on Friday was the goal that you scored, and you're the man that scored it. You started with such a bang when you joined the club in the summer. Had been a little while since your last goal. Was there any relief there for you?
Yeah, 100%. It weighs on your mind, and, you know, I've had, I've had opportunities, and, you know, I think I'm never really too hung up on, I need to score every week, I need to score that. As long as, you know, I'm contributing and performing, and to be fair, I didn't think I had been, and I'd found myself out of the team, and, you know, I couldn't really argue because, you know, I'm self-critical, and, you know, I always want to contribute and help the team in any way I can. I felt that, you know, my levels had dropped a little bit, and, you know, I looked at myself, and, you know, I looked to see what I can do better, whether that be recovery or training or whatever. but yeah, I was just happy to be able to come back into the team and contribute. And you know, the big disappointment is, you know, the fact that it meant nothing, and you know, it's always tough to take when you know you're scoring in a game where you felt like you had control and you know we were doing well. It's, you know, it's a tough place to go. It's, you know, I don't think we, by any stretch of the imagination, we played unbelievably well, but to go to, you know, Kenilworth Road and to play on the pitch, the you know, the conditions of the pitch, I just think it was, you know, one of those perfect away performances. And you know, for 88 minutes we managed it really well. You know, they had some really big threats up front, and you know, the direct way of playing, and you know, I thought we stood up to it unbelievably. I thought all the lads at the back and you know, midfielders and me and Jerry helped with all of it. So yeah, it's tough to take, and the fact it meant nothing was, you know, was disappointing. But you know, hopefully, you know, we can build on the kind of the performance, and you know, myself personally as well, I can hopefully build on that and take confidence from that, and you know, going into the festive period, hopefully help contribute to some wins.
And it's such a busy period for you, for everyone. How special is Christmas and Christmas football to you?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's all we know of really. You know, a couple of the lads coming from overseas, it might be a little bit of a shock to them, and but yeah, you know, being involved in festive fixtures, it's always special. It's always nice. You know, just seeing the fans travel, whether that be, you know, Luton on the Friday before Christmas, and you know, just knowing how much it means to them, and how much that, you know, financially that they're willing to back us. And you know, because it's, you know, it's not lost on me. You know, I don't come from a you know, a rich background, a rich family or anything like that. So you know, it's not lost on me that how much of a, you know, an expense, and you know, just what they're, you know, willing to do, you know, the weekend before Christmas. And you know, some of their kids might be at home thinking, I wish mummy or wish daddy spent more money on me at Christmas. But no, the fact that they're willing to back us and travel across the country, and you know, obviously there'll be a good crowd there on Boxing Day. Yeah, it's definitely not lost to me.
That's Kayden Jackson, and this has been The Build-Up. It's going to be a full house here at Pride Park this Boxing Day, but you can still be part of it by joining us on RamsTV. The game, Derby against West Brom, is available to watch on RamsTV on Matchday Live in selected unsold overseas markets. Go to dcfc.co.uk to get your Game Pass now. Matchday Live with you from 5. We'll see you then. Goodbye.